Hi, and welcome to Odwadini app, the simple smart accounting app built for small business owners, whether you sell products, offer services, or do both. We understand that not everyone has accounting training, and that's why Odwadini uses clear visuals and voice instructions to guide you step by step in your own language. With just a few taps, you can record sales and expenses, track stock and cash balances, manage creditors and debtors, and the best part of it is Odwadini automatically generates your reports like profit and loss, stock summaries, and account overviews, so you always know how your business is doing. In this demo, we will show you how easy it is to use the Odwadini app to take control of your business finances. No confusion, no stress. Let's get started. So we have our Odwadini app downloaded from the Google Play Store, and if you're a new user, you click on don't have an account to sign up now. So we have the interface for the sign up. Very simple. You enter your full name, mobile number, username, and a secret password to create an account. If you already have an account, like myself, you just go straight and enter your phone number, and then you enter your password. Easy. After signing in or signing up, it takes us to this account creation page where we are to create account for our service business. If we have more than one business, we can create individual account for each of them and manage all from this simple app. And because this demo is specifically for businesses that render service, we are going to focus on service businesses. We look at the bottom right and we click the blue button there, which takes us to the business setup page. We enter our business name, our phone number, we enter our cash in hand, which is basically the cash you started the business with, or if you are an old business who has been in operation for a while, you can quote the available cash as at the time of using this mobile application. I'm assuming my cash in hand is 500. I'll select my business type. I am into haircut business, so I will choose cosmetic beauty and personal care. Select my currency, which is the Ghana cedi, and I submit. My business account has been created, and when you look at the log which has been created, on the right side we have a red button which is for deletion, and we have a rectangle in which is written 100. That icon is specifically for adding up or decreasing your startup cash. So when I click on it, I am able to top up my cash balance or decrease my cash balance depending on the amount I introduced. Now start recording our transactions for the service business. So we click on the log. It takes us to the home page where we have the individual buttons that will help us to record our transactions. So we have the first button as the product. It keeps database of all products in case you are into goods or product business, or you can even use to create database for all the services you render if you are in a service business. Product sales, record all sales. The purchase button records direct costs incurred to render the service if you're into a service business, or it records product bought for resale if you are into a product business. Expense records all other costs related to running the business. Example is utilities. Debtors and creditors manages people or businesses who owe you and those you owe. The account report shows summaries of all your transactions. Profit and loss shows periodic performance results. And lastly, the stock report displays stock movement, current stock balances, and prompts you when restocking is needed. But in this demo, we do not need a stock report because the focus is on service businesses. And before we can start recording our transactions, we will need to create database for the individual services that we render. In this demo, my business is into a barber shop. So we do haircut, dyeing, and twisting as part of our services. So we click on the products button, which is the first button. We click the blue button at the bottom right. We select service. Then we start to create database for all the services that we render. The first one is the normal haircut. And then we submit. The second service is dyeing. So we will select service. We enter dyeing. Submit. The third service is twisting. We select service and we submit. So we have database for the services that we render. So after creating this database, we can now start to record our transactions. So we go back to the main menu page. After creating database for the services, you could see that the description of the various buttons have changed. As well, there is no stock report showing here. This tells us that this business is purely for services, so we do not need any stock reports. So first of all, we can now start recording our transactions. Assuming we have made sales, we can click on the service sales. We click on the blue button at the bottom right. We search for the service type. Our first service is haircut. The price we charged the customer was 50 cedis, and we can describe as maybe a normal haircut. It's on cash, so we submit. Our sales or revenue line has now been created for us, and we can keep on recording the sales that we have been realizing. Let's assume we have realized another sale, which is red dyeing. We now record another sale by searching for the service type. It is dye. The price we charge the customer was 60 cedis, and the description can be red dye. It's on cash. We submit, and another sales line has been created for us. We can keep on recording. Assuming this time is twisting. It says for twisting, the price we are charging the customer is 70 cedis. You can enter any description, but at this time we assume that the customer didn't pay, so this transaction was on credit. We now enter the customer's name. Yahoo. We enter the contact of the customer, and then we select the date that we intend receiving the amount, which may be 20th. We save the debtor's details and we submit. But here they say we should describe it, so the description button cannot be empty, so we can say dreadlocks and we submit. Another revenue line has been created for the dreadlocks, which is 70 Ghana cedis. So our total sales for today is 180, 110 for cash and 70 for credit. When you check the upper right, you will see 3 lines. When you click on it, it's for filter. We can filter for any period and check the sales performance for that particular period. So this is how the sales is being recorded. You can now go back to the main menu. The service cost, which is basically the direct cost that helps you to run the business. So assuming you bought rubbing alcohol and necro for your barber shop, we go to the service cost. The same process, we click on the button at the bottom right, and then we search for the type of service. Here we realize that there is no rubbing alcohol and necro in our database, so it is not being found here. So what is needed is to go back to create a database for them. We go back, we click on the first button, which is service, and then we start to create a database for them. So we select the service and we enter rubbing alcohol. We submit. The same way, create necro. We select the service and then we submit. Here we can now go back and enter our service cost. We search for rubbing alcohol. We bought rubbing alcohol 3 for 20 cedi each, giving us a 60 Ghana cedis. We can describe it as 3 bottles of rubbing alcohol. We bought on cash, so we submit. The same way, we can record for the necro. The cost of it is 75 Ghana cedis, and that we can say 5 pieces of necro. Same cash, and then we submit. So the same interface as that of the sales. Here, the cost you are incurring to run your business, that's basically the direct cost, also is recorded here, and then the details of it are being created for you as individual line items. You can use the filter button to also filter for any period of choice. We can now look at how to record expenses, which is basically all indirect costs that helps us to run the business. This is different from the service cost in that the service cost focuses on all direct costs without which you cannot run. For example, the rubbing alcohol and the neck roll that we recorded, you know perfectly that these are needed for the haircut business to run smoothly. But items like refuse collection cannot halt business operations. So in this case, it is referred to as expenses. Yeah. So we click on the expenses. We click on the blue button at the bottom right. We click on the expense type. Here we want to record refuse collection, so we select cleaning and sanitation. The amount we paid is 10 Ghana cedis, and the description is refuse collection. We save. You can also record another expense as prepaid light, so we select utilities. We bought 20 and prepaid units, and we save. And our expense items have been created for us. We can use the filter also to check periodic expenses. You can now come back to the main page and scroll through the various reports to see our financial standings. So we can click on the account report, and the period service sales we've made 180 service costs, and then our expenses, which we can drop down, and we see that we've incurred cleaning and sanitation 10 cedis and utilities 20. Our cash balance now is 445, and our debtors balance is 70. We do not owe anyone. So this is basically how the account report is. We can also filter for any period. We go back and we check the profit and loss, where we have our profit and loss for the period, our service sales, our cost of sales, and then our gross profit is 45. So gross profit is basically the profit from our core operation, which is the barber shop. But before we can declare the final profit, we always have to take care of the expenses, which is the indirect cost that helps us to run the business. And this is what most small businesses do not take note of. They always take the gross profit as their final profit. When you consider gross profit as your final profit as a small business, you adversely impact both the business and your ability to make sound financial decisions for growth. Furthermore, your private expenditures should not be mixed with your business expenditures. Let's go back to the main menu, and we can look at the debtors and creditors. We do not have any creditors because we've not bought anything from any vendor on credit. We can scroll to the right. We have a debtor, somebody who owes the business, and the due date for payment is 20th of August. So we can assume that the person is in to pay some amount, so we can click on it and we choose partial payment. If the person is settling in full, we can choose that. So 20, and then the next payment date will be say 19th, and we settle. So after settling, we could see that the amount due now is 50 because the person have paid 20. We can now go back, and basically this is how transactions are being recorded for service business, and how to check your report for decision.